Okay, I'm in the process of putting up the wall at the back of the raised section, and as you can see here, I've started to put the buttresses in, and they'll be joined together by the wall sections. If I swing along a little bit more, there is the wall section in place. I've said to put a little bit of graffiti on that one, and the next section, as you can see, I've put the capping stones and the capping tiles on the top. So that's the completed wall. And as you go further along, it continues like that. All the masts are now in place. They're not in place permanently. They'll have to be taken out to fit the backboard, the back scene, and then I'll just put them in place permanently with a touch of glue. I've also fitted the AWS ramp in preparation for the signal being fitted, and hopefully I'll get the signals done very shortly. I'm just going to add some bushes, underbush, sapling trees, coarse turf, you know, some of the Woodland Scenics materials. I'm going to add that in on top of the static grass area against the wall, because as I said in my earlier videos, this is a kind of overgrown area that would get the sun quite a bit, so it wouldn't take long for the bushes and the weeds and that to start to sprout. So I'll go and do that now, and I'll be back in a minute. Right, that's me added in the scenic material. The shades that you're looking at are a mixture of medium green, light green, burnt grass and olive green, and I've used Woodland Scenics materials for this, and a variety of underbush, bush, coarse turf, and also some fine leaf foliage to give the impression of small trees, which is hopefully convincing. I've also used some scatter material, including this here, which is the yellow grass scatter, just to give the impression of some flowers on the bushes. This has just been put down just now with a PVA base, which I've stuck the bushes onto. Obviously it will need soaked in scenic cement just to kind of hold it in place. But as you can see, I've got a variety of levels of growth, dense, not so dense, and I've still used obviously the static grass that I had down before as a kind of base layer. You can see that poking through the bushes as well. I'll take you up the other end where I've got some more stuff to show. I am up the west end of the station now, and I've continued my undergrowth and bushes along. You can see some of the bushes are actually growing over, or have grown over the cable trunking, and continues all the way along until it joins the previously done part, which is there. Now I've fitted signals to this section, and I've used 4 aspects. There's a signal here as well. 4 aspects signals as opposed to the 3. Just thought it'd be a nice change. Plus it's a high-speed main line, and it'll allow the trains to see a double yellow light before the yellow. I've also added in some suitable speed signs, speed restriction signs. It's 50 on this particular stretch because it's coming towards a curve, and on the other sign that I've got on this part, it's 75 because that'll be the straight main line ahead. So yeah, I thought that was suitably quick enough. These lights are wired in to the Heathcote boards that I use. However, they're both showing red just now because I've only got one signal in the loop, so it can't switch between any other ones just now. So I've now done the complete walling and undergrowth, signage, masts, right down to the section there just next to the yellow AWS ramp. That's all now complete. Quite pleased with that actually. Right to the tunnel there. And obviously this next section will be the town scene, and the track on the corner will be in a form of kind of cutting, so I'll have to raise the sections up for the town scene at both sides, but I'm going to get the back scenes and everything like that done first in the autumn, and then I'll tackle this part here along with the east end section of the layout. But really this is the station section complete, with the exception of this bit down here, which I need to get this bit sorted out so the landscape can flow onto it. So that's what's holding this area kind of up. It's been a lot of work, this top section, a lot of hard access to get to, especially with the weathering with the airbrush leaning over the station all the time. In hindsight I should have started at the back and worked my way forward, but I didn't really know what I wanted on the top section when I started the station, so I had to do it that way. It should allow for some pretty neat running shots, to be honest, of the trains. As you'll know if you've watched my May updates, there's been a bit of progress made here in the last few weeks. I have now completed the actual baseboard for the fiddle yard area. This section here continues on from the hidden sidings that I had on the layout, and constant curve round there. It's a second radius and a third radius curve on the outside of it. Will go all the way round to here. Now I've not ruled out using set track for that, just because where the access is for me actually fixing it down is a lot easier with set track than using the flexi track. There's no cutting involved, so I'm not sure as to what kind of track I'm using there, but there will be a semicircle there of 2 lanes of track, and then when they get here they'll start to branch out. And if I turn the camera around, there it is. 4.5 metres from one end to the other, and I've cut round this vent pipe, and I'll get 6 lanes in between there and there, and then obviously after it passes that it could branch out into another 3, so that could potentially 9 to 10 lanes for storage there. And also I intend to branch out here as well where the drill bit box is, and again have another 3 lines running all the way to the corner there. I can at least 3 lines for more storage. That's about 1.5 meters from the toolbox to the end. So that times 3, 4.5, 5 meters of just pure storage space for carriages and freight would be ideal. And obviously I've got all the turnouts will branch out from here into a traditional shaped fiddle yard, I suppose, where you've got the lanes and they all converge at the end as well. Particularly on this end. This has just been made, by the way, with 21 thick dressed pine, and that's 95 in breadth, and it comes in 4.5 metre lengths from the timber merchant. And I've just screwed the ply, which is 12mm exterior ply, on top of the dressed timber. Underneath it as well, I've strengthened it with the usual supports all the way to the end there, and obviously there's one in the corner there, just to give it some rigidity. I've had to put an extra support in here because that's where the 2 baseboards join, so they've been screwed to stop any flex where the join is. Moving all along here, my original plan, as I might have discussed in my previous one, was just to stop here and have dead end sidings. But I thought to myself, if the loco hauled and it's not an HST, then the loco will be at the dead end, so it'll have to push its way out, and and that means me still picking up locos, and you know, the less handling a loco and rolling stock can get, the better, because obviously it's got a lot of fine detail on it and you don't want to start snapping things off and handling it too much. So what I kind of came up with, this brainwave of mine, was to extend the fiddle yard round the corner, and it goes all the way along here, and there is wooden battens, extended wooden battens coming out there, which is from where I am now 2 meters away. And as you can see from the point work here, there's going to be a bit of track going from that turnout all the way along. I'm also going to put sidings in here as well, so I might have another 5 to 6 meters of sidings, but I'm going to have a single track running along that direction, and it's going to come out where that bit of track goes there. So on the lower section, a train could be coming along under the TMD tunnel, and it can continue to the left there, to the, you know, around the loop to the station, etc. Or it could go off that way through a gap that I'll cut in the back scene, which will be hidden anyway, and obviously the incline will be somewhere in there. It'll go through there like a fake you know, girder entrance or something like that. It will continue along, it will come out here, and as it goes to here it will branch into two. Sorry for the moving of the camera, folks. It will branch into two, and I'll have two lines coming there, so I'm almost making the fiddle yard symmetrical. I've got two entrances there and two entrances along at this end. That'll allow for more operating capacity, more storage capacity. I'll be able to get into all these, you know, sidings. They won't be necessarily dead end. I could also have head shunts here where the points branch out to meet these. I could continue the sidings into a buffer stop there. Again, more storage, along with the 6 to 8 full length through lines, if you like. I've got head shunts. I've got you know, a vast potential for storage here, which should take, I mean, I've got 130, 140 carriages so far, and I've got about 20-25 locos, and maybe you know, 35-40 bits of freight. So that's not going to go down in number over the years. I'm trying to limit my rolling stock now, right enough, but a lot of duplicates in that 140, 150. But you know, this is going to give me storage space well into the future years, as the layout rolling stock, you know, is added to and expands and stuff like that. I've also got my APT-E, which is due out Rapido trains, ones from Locomotion. So that'll sit pride of place in the storage yard when it's not in use, and it'll fit in one of the sidings on its own. This storage sidings from the toolbox there, all the way down to where the points will, the two lines will converge into points. That'll store a 7-car HST and a 7-car Class 91 with rolling stock and DVT. So I hope you like what I've done. This second bit here was a kind of, you know, not an afterthought, but I thought, you know what, while I'm at it I may as well add it in. It's minimal fuss. Once I've laid the track, I'm not doing any scenics. Once I've laid the track, it's there. I can reach all the turnouts by hand, so I've not got an immense array of wiring to do here, because I'm going to just manually operate them. You know, I can reach all these just by leaning over and flick, and they'll not be used that often to really justify wiring up a turnout motor. You know, I've even got 1, 2, 3, 4 there. Time you add another 6 or so here, 6 or so, 7 are there, plus all your head shunts. You know, you're looking at a fortune for point motors. So I think I'll just I'll do it manually. It's not going to be, you know, a busy operation. It's not an exhibition layout I'm running here, so I'll not be here all the time. Okay, let me know what you think about this, guys. And if you think actually, how will I be operating my layout as I'm stuck up here? I'm going to get the Apple phone and iPad app for the Railmaster, so I can do hands-free control up here on my phone, controlling locos in and out of the fiddle yard, whilst keeping an eye on the running of the main layout. by putting that exit there, what I'm really doing is I'm always putting a kind of reverse loop in as well, because the loco can come out there, go round, go through the fiddle yard, and then actually go up the incline to the other section in the opposite direction, which is kind of an added bonus from my idea of putting that side entrance. With regard to this area here, I like it. It gives good operational, potential. However, I'm finding that I'm going to have a 2-line main lines coming across here, and one branching off into the incline as it goes round the corner. I might move these lines slightly this way, which means moving this one in. So it'll just give me maybe more room as the main line sweeps round, more of a gentle curve. If I move all of these 3 lines just, an inch or so each, 2 inches this way, just to give it a less crowded look, if you like, because I'm going to have a kind of a bridge there over, and this rail will be under the bridge, and obviously I've got this rail here now, and I've got this area here, so it's all kind of, up in the air a wee bit with regard to this area. Okay, that's all I've got for today. I'll try and do another little update in my Loco of the Month feature later in June. It's getting a bit warm now. I've taken the opportunity to come up on a cool Saturday morning to show you the latest stuff and just finish bits and pieces off for the fiddle yard, but the time I can spend up here will become limited due to the temperatures. So I'm going to maybe take some projects downstairs for the summer. But I hope you like what you've seen so far, and as always I look forward to your comments. Thanks just now.